What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to Monday Night Madness. The Raiders drop a seventh game in a row. They are on a 7-game losing streak, the longest losing streak since 2024. Join the madness. Let's talk about it.
Excuse me, Lil Joker. This is no joke. These are serious times, and people are seriously concerned about this nation entering into a depression.
All right, you're right, eh? But you know what?
What?
I think our nation is already in a depression, eh?
Okay, you do. And why is that?
Raider Nation, eh? It's depressing, boss. They can't even win a game anymore, eh? Can't take it, right? Raiders. Come on, you know that's funny, eh? Look at her, she's trying to hold it, eh? Check her out. Trying to be a professional and stuff like that, eh? Come on, let it out, eh? I'm gonna call you Jack in the Box, eh? Because on the outside, you're all like a square and everything, but on the inside, you want to come out and get all silly like that. Let it out, eh? Come on, you can't resist little Joker, eh? Orale, what? Let it out, eh? There it is, boss.
All right. I guess it's okay to have a laugh in these financially difficult times.
Well, man, I know I do, sir.
This is Janice McAllister signing off.
Oh, hey, and Selma, hey, call me, baby. I love you. What's up, baby?
This is all of us today. Raiders. Anyway, everybody, that was just a little funny to make us laugh through our depressing season. I'm Spicy Raider Girl here with my co-host Scotty Waddy Raider One, and we have our boy Omar joining us tonight. I like your little tagline down there, Omar. Little twist: win, lose, or tank. Raiders.
That's where we are.
That's what we are. Remember, if you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and join to become a member. Here's some hot takes for the night. Standout players of the game. Mad Max records 100 tackles for loss. Minshew's out. AOC's in. 7 straight losses, the most since 2014. Draft placement for the Raiders, and Davis looking to sell more of a team. Anyone got a few $1 billion? You guys want to invest?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Remember, if you want to join the madness, the link to the back is pinned to the top there, so make sure to join us. So, how you guys feeling today?
Like we're 2-9. That's how I feel. You know, looking for the bright spots. You know, like, hey, they played hard. You know, nobody made any business decisions out there on the field. There we go. That's what I got.
All right. Well, let's start out. We always like, there's not a lot of positives in this season, but we like to at least start out with a positive. And the player that shined this week was obviously my favorite, one of all of our favorites, Mr. Mad Max Crosby. Recorded 100 tackles for a loss, most in Raiders history. Where's my round of applause button?
Hey. Oh, definitely.
Something to celebrate.
Gotta love Max.
Yeah, he's the bright spot.
Speaking of Max, there's been a lot of chatter about, tanking this season. Well, I hate to break it to you, everybody. They just aren't that good. They are not tanking. And speaking of our boy Mad Max, you had a little bit to say about that.
I mean, if we're not playing to win, then what are we doing? You know what I mean? I don't play to get a better pick. It doesn't even register in my brain. You know what I mean? I go out there trying to win. I know these guys are trying to win. And we got great players in this locker room and guys that put everything into it. So we're just going to keep staying together and keep trying to find ways to win. You look in there, you walk in Monday, tomorrow in the morning, there'll be everybody in there working out. Tuesday, same thing. You know what I mean? So I never doubt the players and the mindset of everybody in that locker room. Guys show up every day with the mindset to get better. So that's all you can ask for. I love this team and I love, my teammates. You know what I mean? They're continuously working on improving their craft. And, as a leader and as a guy that literally I live in the building, it's nothing cooler to see.
All right, well, there you have it. Mad Max himself said it. They aren't tanking. They are playing hard. And Omar, like you said, they looked like they were trying to win that game yesterday.
Yeah, that's what we got right now. We to enjoy this game. I mean, they were in it. They were even fighting in the second half, which we've known for most of this season. They implode in the second half. Minshew did have to throw his daily interception, but yeah, they were fighting though. So.
Well, at one point also, and I mentioned this last week, it feels like we're playing a whole bunch of preseason games and trying to plug in play and see what fits. And that's basically what we're doing. But at this point, not that we were good when we had all the starters, but the injuries really are hurting us right now. I mean, we have a lot of injuries. And for these guys to go out there and give that type of effort with third string guys, we may have had a shot at something if we had a complete team. But I'm not saying we would be great. I'm not saying that we're a pretty badly run team. But the injuries are playing a big factor at this point. What I did see, somebody that came in that I've been wanting to see because we drafted him 2 years ago was Sincere McCormick at running back, and I thought
iPhone charger.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
So yeah, Sincere McCormick at running back. I thought he did pretty solid for coming in. I think that was the first game he's played in. So we're getting a bunch of backup guys and trying to see what works. Trying to be positive about it. That may be a good thing because we're going to see what we need, what we have, and be able to weed out some of these people. Hey, like I said, I think we're playing it as if it's preseason, trying to plug in what might work at what time. So,
well, speaking of injuries, as we all know, Minshew is out. He was injured yesterday, and it was confirmed today that the injury will end the first season of Minshew's 2-year contract with the Raiders, which he signed earlier in the year. He ends the season with 203 completions on 306 attempts for 2,013 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. AOC has officially been released off the IR. I guess he was in practice today, so I guess it's AOC time again.
Can you repeat one more time for me the actual completions?
203 completions on 306 attempts.
203 completions. 197 of those were behind the line of scrimmage, but okay. Yeah, I guess he used the damn pass. Horrible. Sucks. Fucking pathetic. Check down. Or interception. One of the two.
Yeah, that's actually sadly that is funny.
This guy's lost the starting quarterback job 16 times this year, I think already. He set a record for that. Horrible.
What's up to the chat? April, what's good? She says, what's good, Spicy, Scotty, and Omar. Mother Moon, Omar, Scotty, Waddy, my boys. Ernest, what's going on? UFO Raiders, unidentified football organization. That's our identity this year. All right. I'm with you, girl. I despise the word tanking. There's no tanking going on here. Well, unless you ask Raider Paul. Just tank, baby. Yes, AOC is back. He is back.
Yeah. Let's see what AOC can do.
Should he be? See, me, I'm still on that Carter Bradley bandwagon. Like, man, throwing Carter Bradley. Let's see what we got. Desmond Ridder, man, he ain't doing nothing.
No, I think AOC should be the guy, but I don't think that he's going to be such a difference maker. I think you need a lot more than just one quarterback to fix this team right here.
Still can't run the ball.
If you can't run the ball, then your quarterback.
To me, that's been a bigger problem than even the quarterback situation, because I don't think any quarterback would have been successful when it's a one-dimensional offense.
Sure,
absolutely. So
absolutely.
To me, that's if we're going into the offseason, we definitely have to go into there thinking, how can we run the ball? And I hope Telesco's kicking himself for not retaining Josh Jacobs. But that's another story.
I think these guys, I don't think so. I don't think he is. I think he's, every GM comes in with their vision, of what this should look like. And I don't think he is. But we do have to use a draft pick this season on somebody. Well, I shouldn't say that. we may have to use a draft pick this season on a running back, unless we're going to use some of that 100 and whatever it is million in cap space and bring somebody in. But then I don't think so, because then why wouldn't he just retain Jacobs? If that's that's. So I think we're going to have to use a draft pick on that.
We got to do something. That is for sure.
All right, everybody, we have a special guest backstage who would like to join the panel. I'm happy to have this guy on the show. What's good, AR?
Dude, what's good, brother?
What's going on, gang? Spicy, Scotty,
Hey.
Pleasure to be here. How are we?
Good.
We're good. What's your take on this abysmal 2-9 season? Enough said.
Right, enough said. I actually wanted to touch up on what you were talking about, Omar, about the running back situation. I'm right there with you, that the running back situation for the year has been absolutely abysmal. I've said it on my own lives time and time again this year. If you look back since the turn of the millennium, and even further than that, even the mid-90s, this is by a landslide the worst rushing attack we've had. We haven't had one room in that time frame in the last 30 years that's been worse than this one. I would take every other running back core that we've had since the mid-90s before I would take this one. So we need to address that. Like draft 1, draft 2, I don't care. We need some better bodies in the door. With that said, I will give credit to Sincere McCormick. He's a guy I have criticized about why is this guy still on our roster. He's been with us for 3 seasons and he hasn't even been on the field once, not one regular season snap. And if he can't find his way on the field despite our running back woes, then what is he still doing on our roster? Why is he still languishing on the practice squad? However, he got his chance this week, and I was pleasantly surprised and pleasantly impressed. He has 6 carries for 6 yards a pop, so there was something there with him, and I can appreciate that. At least it took him a while, but he showed some things. So I want to see a little more of that. I'm not going to expect that to be the sustainable production we're going to get from him, but at least it was something. It's encouraging. Like everything else about the running back room, we need to improve. Draft once, draft twice, I don't care. Get some newer bodies in the door. Anyways,
I believe Afakasi, I believe the first year that we drafted him, I believe he was hurt that year, and then last year I can't explain why he wasn't on the field.
It was the other way around, I think.
Oh, was it? Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But whatever it is, like a running back, if you've been on the roster 3 years, how long do you need to do something to at least get on the field and take a snap so he can see what you can do? It took him longer than most. Like, I mean, he hadn't even done like Trey Ragus or Chris Warren things in the offseason, in the preseason, right? So that was always my argument. And also like the hype that the guy was getting from a lot of content creators, making out he's the next Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what has he done? But I just wanted to make a point that I wanted to give him his flowers. He did play pleasantly well.
He did.
And the other thing I wanted to highlight as well that was a positive is the special teams unit. You guys noticed that, like, that our special teams coordinator had to take a leave of absence this week. Did you know that?
I did not.
I didn't know that either, actually.
So we had the assistant take over for this week specifically. He's a guy that came over from the Chargers. I cannot remember his name. But when you look at it, like, well, we had a big return from Dylan Lobby. Shout out to Lobby. We had a successful fake punt on a very creative play with AJ Cole throwing that ball to Diablo. Nobody expected that. Nobody saw that coming. I can appreciate that. We had all our field goals, all our punts were successful. AJ Cole punting at his all-pro best, and no missed field goals, and our kicking coverage was fairly decent for the most part. So when you look at it across the board, like that was as good of a performance from the special teams that I could hope for, and I wouldn't mind giving the guy promotion. I can really appreciate that. So I wanted to give him whatever his name is, his flowers.
Yeah. Does that sum up the season that we had a punter throw to a linebacker as one of our highlight plays for the year?
Right. Look, I'm not impressed with everything that you guys have been unimpressed with. So I just wanted to highlight some positives, as well as Tyree. I can appreciate Tyree coming on of like 3 sacks in 4 weeks. he still needs to live up to that first round draft expectation, which he hasn't come close to yet. But I can appreciate he's been doing better. So
Yeah,
just some positives, right, gang?
yeah, for
No,
sure.
we appreciate it. We've been trying to start the show off with positives because there aren't many of them. So thank you for highlighting those.
Right.
Yeah. No, definitely a few people are out there showing some flashes. Like I said, we're plugging in people and seeing what fits and seeing what works. And some people are kind of rising to the occasion. At this point of the season, we're past the midpoint here, and there's some positive things that are out there that we could try to work with.
Definitely, especially got to give it up to the secondary. I mean, Graham obviously had confidence in Richardson being out there because he wasn't doing a lot of things to help him. He just relied on his front four as normal, and they didn't get blown out back there. So I was like, okay, you know what? We got depth in the secondary a little bit. I mean, especially to be out as many starters as we are right now. I mean, we lost 2 on the D line, by week 2 or 3? And then you lose your starting safety, and now your cornerback and your freaking other cornerback. It's like, are you kidding me? And still, like I said, we're in that game. We were in that game.
Yeah,
DCAM did get cooked quite often that game, but to me, I expected that. Like, I expected that he was going to be the starter.
He didn't need to turn around. He doesn't need
He
to turn
did
his head
something,
around.
but he did get cooked. But like, to be honest, like, look, he's this is his rookie season. I expected as much. It was his trial by fire, and I do still see. I'm like you, Omar. I see things in Rich and DCAM. It was a rough outing, but that was expected. You know what I mean? You're going to take your licks, but I think he's going to learn from that. You know what I mean?
He was also going up against Sutton too. I mean, that's not that's
right. Like I said, he did get cooked, but there's context to it. You know what I mean? Like, what is he? A 4th, 5th round rookie who this is his first time getting the duties on the outside as the starter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect for him to completely lock down, shut down. I knew it was going to be a rough ride, but at least there were moments where he did. He caused a breakup. He was sticky in coverage. There was just more times than not where he did get cooked. But like, look, expected. He's going to learn from this, and he's going to improve. I still see things in Cam Richardson.
I think I agree with you, Afakasi. What wouldn't you say? Hey, man, coach the guy up a little bit. Show him how to work the angles a little bit more. Show him how to deal with this stuff, and you might have something there.
Because he has the prototype when it comes to the attributes. He's fast, he's lengthy, he's tall. You know what I'm saying?
That's all he used yesterday. He was using all his
got the tools. He's just a raw prospect that with time, I think he can improve on. You know what I'm saying? So yes, he did get cooked, but he will learn from that. He will grow.
Yeah, for sure.
And I thought he just could have got cooked worse. There's a couple of times there I thought, ooh, you know what I mean? But I thought a lot of it is some of our defense, we played zone, and then we went into man, and then all of a sudden there's a man who someone didn't pick up. I thought it was just a few little changes where he couldn't use his body. He got caught a little bit, and I'm just like, all right, dude, you know what I mean? You definitely got all the raw skill, your size, height, weight, speed, the Al Davis. To me, I was like, that's an Al Davis pick right there. And to your point, getting coached up, but he wasn't the only one though. And that's why I'm like, okay, he wasn't the only one that got very confused a couple of times in Denver. Like, hey, I got to give Bo Nix some credit. He monopolized on it, man. So, but like I say, I still love the effort. I love how he didn't get phased. He was right back lining up, doing his thing, man, ready to make the next play.
I can appreciate that too, Omar. Like I said, I see potential in DCAM, and this is an experience he can grow from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's what I'm saying. It feels like we're playing a bunch of preseason games where we're figuring out what works and who's the player that we can actually put in there. And I'm really not that mad at that because I'm not expecting to win too many games, anymore. So let's work on what we got to keep for the rest of the season or for next season. And what is this guy? Hey, does this guy just need some coaching? Okay, let's get him some coaching, and let's work on that and build off of that. I'm not mad at that. It is what it is.
Right.
Speaking of, what do you guys think? I mean, obviously, I'm sure we're all going to say every game is winnable, but realistically, how many more games that are left in this season are really winnable for this Raiders team?
Oh, that's tough. Because
We're going to have a battle of the bad with Jacksonville.
Right. Exactly. That's going to be like it's the battle for the best draft pick right there.
yeah, it's tough because it's true. We're just not a good team right now. You know, we have some players that can do some things. They just don't do them all the time. You know, that you know, you could say, you know, we have some players that flash, and we have so many backups, and the injuries aren't helping us right now. So that's difficult to say what games we can win. You know, it's difficult.
We're missing so many. The defense was supposed to be the strength of the team, and it still is, right. But we're missing so many key players on the defense side of the ball. Like a lot of our starters, like losing Kunz and Wilkins early in the season, when the strength of the team is the defense, and the strength of the defense is supposed to be our line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And losing two of the three-headed monster that we thought we had early in the season really hurt us. And then losing the players we had on secondary as well has killed us. Our offensive deficiencies, we got no playmakers outside of, or bona fide ones outside of Brock Bowers, and you could put maybe Jacoby Meyers in there, but the rest of the guys are good in spots, but just not good enough.
Yeah, and the thing about it, to your point, Afakasi, is, you know, when you lose that defensive line, then your secondary is taking the heat for that, and then you lost some of the secondary too. It's like, geez,
right?
You know what I mean? So it's just a domino effect right now.
No, I agree. And
we got some of our chat saying one or two wins. I think that might be asking a lot, since we only have 2 wins up to this point. I think you saw Squid. Thanks for joining us. He says Jags, and for some reason the Chiefs game, he could see the Raiders winning. He says we like to do dumb stuff and pull out a game like that. April thinks Jags and Saints. Ernest has them at 1. Not sure who. Who do you think? Who's this one? I think, yeah. I mean, you guys want to just say how many? What do you think? Do you think the Raiders have 1 or 2 more wins in them this season?
That's the limit for me. That's the limit for me. 1 or 2.
Yeah, I can't see more than 2. And I think they're all going to be these freak games. And you know, again, like that Chiefs game. Look, the Chiefs may have their record looks stellar, but they're not dominating games by any means. If anybody's really, you know what I mean. So division rivalry, and I'm not going to sit up here and go on record talking about we can win that game. But I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled out something, and it's going to take, if we win these games, it's going to take some play, a pick six at the timely moment. It's going to take something other than our game plan to win these games. I don't think our game plan is good enough. I think it's going to take.
So they need some luck, is what you're saying.
A little bit of luck, yeah, a little bit of opportunistic, plays, and I think those would most likely come from the defense.
See, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, you know what? Because of our history, a game that we probably could win, like the Jags, we'll lose. But then, playing the Chiefs or playing like the Chargers or something, we'll pull one of them out.
You were talking about how
we have someone backstage with us. AR, you're welcome to stay with us if you would like. And we're gonna bring someone else out here. We got our boy Squid in the building. What's good, Squid?
What's going on?
Oh, my man. What's going on, man?
Good day. Honestly, I think old girl talked about it. I would like to win the New Orleans game, but that's just because I'm going to be there. And
right? Hey, I'm with you there, Squid. I'm with you there. That would be great.
That's the only reason. I won't be mad. I already have the mindset I'm going there to have fun with the nation because I don't care the results at this point. Like, it's a weird time in the season where I've never not cared as much as I do right now. And it also helps me that my soccer team is fucking doing well. So I have that to rely on to feel good about myself. Like,
good. Who's your soccer team, Squid?
Huh?
Who's your team?
I'm a Galaxy fan. So we
Galaxy.
Yeah.
No, I actually like LAFC.
Back to running things. I hate that team. I won't even say that.
Dale, black and gold.
I had a guy in London with their hat on asked me for a picture, and I was like, "You got to take your hat off." He's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck LAFC. I don't.
Damn, he's serious.
I love the Raiders and all, but it doesn't. I've been a fan of the Galaxy since I was fucking 6 years old. I grew up going to the Rose Bowl. Like that's when I say since '96 is when we started. I've been a fan for that long, but not here to talk about that. It's a rough season. I'm proud of Brock. I was curious about his toughness, and he took a few shots yesterday. Like we're coming across the middle, and he got rocked, and he got up just fine. Like keep giving the same guy flowers, but he deserves it.
Yeah, he seems tough to me. I haven't noticed anything this season that would make me question his toughness. What have you noticed that was having you question it?
I just was curious. Like it's nothing at all. Like
Okay.
I've had friends that are Georgia fans that have hyped him up and already told one of them I'm gonna get him a fucking Bowers jersey. I won't buy it yet. I will never buy a current player jersey until they sign again. And even then I'm questioning it. But I don't know. It's just a rough season. It is what it is.
Yeah,
but you can at least appreciate greatness with players that prove to be good enough Raiders, which is why I have no problem with buying current Raiders. Like even if when they leave, if for me the good outweighs the bad, like even 5 years or 10 years after they've retired, I can look back and say, you know what, I'm proud to wear that jersey. Like I've got a Khalil Mack jersey, I've got a Darren McFadden jersey in my bag right now, which I rock loudly and proudly all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you can always look at the positives and be still proud to don the jersey, but you know, each to their own. I get it. Yeah, Brock Bowers, like I mean, he's a guy who's just the only reason I could see for his career to take a dip or a halt would be injury. I mean, he's a high character guy who seems laser focused on football, and for him to producing the way he has been right from the rip with a mediocre quarterback and very little support. Like when it comes to his supporting cast in the receiving department, the sky's the limit with the guy, right?
Sure.
Yes, real quickly, Mother Moon, you are right. It has been a rough 10+ season. Mother Moon said she never buy a legacy brick, but she finally decided to buy one.
Oh yeah.
Here's what it looks like. Never say never, right, Mother Moon? Never say never.
Damn.
Yeah. And everybody's talking a lot about draft position, but the thing about it is we're kind of at a weird position because we can get a top quarterback if that's the route that they choose to go. But who's going to want to coach? Who's going to want to come coach if we're sitting up here at 2-15 by the end, at the end of the season? Who's going to want to come and fix that mess? So that's a little rough. We're at a critical point right now because we kind of need to win. We kind of need to show something, but yet we want the top draft pick, or the best one we can get. So.
So, AR, you were kind of saying earlier in the show, the much need for a running back. Do you think the Raiders try to pick up a quarterback and then draft for a running back, or what's kind of your angle on that?
Well, for me personally, if I can address Scotty's comment first, I think if we do move on from Antonio Pierce, I'm still willing to give him another year. But if we move on, we move on. I think it would be the most ideal of scenarios for any head coach, being that it's a glitz and glamour city. He's going to have a boatload of cash and a boatload of draft picks to mold this team. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to tell a guy like, right, we're going to give you 2-3 years to turn it around. Here's the money, and here's the draft capital for you to turn it around within that time frame. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I see it as it's not if you're not going to take over a winning team, take over a team where it's just like you've got the keys to the kingdom and the ammunition to do as you please and to do as you see fit to turn it around. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good point.
That's just the way I see it. But in terms of like what you asked, Spicy, for me, it's about time we swing again for a quarterback and do it early in the draft. We hadn't done that since Jamarcus Russell. I mean, Derek Carr has been the only other guy where we've taken a guy in the first 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So The last time we did it was Jamarcus Russell in 2007. We all know what happened there, but it's about time we try again. You're never gonna hit on the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to find our guy. And if we mess it up, we mess it up. So what? It's more of the same, right? But if we get it right, we find the guy that's going to take us into the future, then our future is going to be looking bright. But then after that, like, look, I'm open to taking a running back. Take 2 running backs. I don't care. We need to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like I highlighted, this is the worst running back room in the last 30 years. Name one worse than this one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good enough. So we need to find guys there, preferably in the draft.
All right, Squid, what do you think?
So that's kind of where I'm also like, I don't see us not. If we have one of the top 3 picks in Sanders or Cam Waters, I don't see how we don't pick them. But what if we fall back a little bit, mess around, win a game or 2, and now you're looking at what if the running back, the kid out of Boise State is there, and he's by far the best pick available, which Telesco proved it last year, shocked everybody and took Bowers, but it wasn't even clear. It was clear. He was the best player on the board. So, I mean, I've only seen him draft once, obviously, but he does pretty okay. I mean, he's built a lot of within those first 3 draft the rounds, some pieces there. So my heart still says we're going quarterback and into AP or what's his face? Oh my God, I'm blanking on Akasi from the coaching, and I think I've touched on it before. Peyton Manning's came out and they've talked about how we don't develop quarterbacks in the league anymore. Outside of Green Bay,
it was Tom
outside of Green Bay, who's done it phenomenally. Fucking, they've had 3 quarterbacks in like 30 years.
Right.
We don't. The league doesn't develop quarterbacks. We don't allow them to sit down and learn how to be a quarterback in the league, and I don't think we have that coach in our staff.
I think that's a product also, though, Squid, of Green Bay has had generational talent, if you will, at quarterback, and they were able to do that. And right now, you have teams like us, that are so poor that we have to use them. So it's kind of a catch-22 on that, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. It'd be great to be able to have a quarterback that was good enough to be able to sit the next guy behind him to learn something. It's just that I think that teams are want to win now, and they
we could have done it. We just don't have that philosophy. While we had Carr, if we wanted to grab a quarterback in the first round on many drafts, we could have done it. It takes someone who understands the fact that you got a mine for gold, and having a franchise quarterback is the most gold you can get in this league. I mean, I think for us, going back to what Spicy was saying about an offensive coordinator, I mean, a lesson learned looking at how Cliff Kingsbury left the building because we didn't want to pay him. Hey, you want an offensive coordinator that can develop? You better be ready to pay him. Yeah. First of all, and then you need to give him some tools. And in my mind, even if we can get a Cam Ward or a Shador, we still need to go to free agency and get a veteran quarterback as well. We need to fill this well by any means necessary, because you never know. These guys can have all the talent in the world. You throw them in there too early, we're just going to ruin them. Look at Sam Darnold with Minnesota. He sucked when he was with the Jets. I forgot where he was if he was drafted to the Jets or some other team, but he didn't do well at all. And now 3-4 seasons later, he's lighting it up. Look at Justin Fields when he was playing. He did okay when he's for the Steelers. He's going to be a free agent. I think we need to double down. I think we need to definitely draft a quarterback, but we also need to grab one in free agency, and we need to pay somebody that can develop them and make the decision that maybe that first round pick may need to sit and be okay with it. Because most teams wouldn't do what Green Bay did. They wouldn't have a Rodgers in there and still use a first round pick for someone that's going to sit for 3 seasons. They're not doing. Most GMs don't have that philosophy. It's gone, and it needs to, that needs to be a blueprint, if you ask me, especially for the Raiders, because we've had a desert quarterback. At least let's just say a high level, consistent quarterback.
I said we need somebody to sit him behind, though. That's the problem we have.
Right. And when you look at it, I'm right there with you. If we can have a veteran, if we can bring in a veteran presence that can be good enough for the now, that would be fantastic. But like when you look at what we've done in the last, well, since Rich Gannon, when we've tried to go and find the next Rich Gannon and rely on that being what we're going to settle with as our quarterback situation, we just haven't found it. Like every one of these veteran guys that we brought in the door just hasn't been it or even close to being it. Like for me, the best of the bunch was Jason Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Like that start of the 2011 season, I thought he was showing out until he went down to injury. But every other veteran guy we bring in has been either mid or below par or well below par. So I'm getting sick and tired of taking that route. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all for bringing in a veteran just to be that contingency. But for me, it's draft a quarterback by any means necessary at all costs. And if we happen to be out of range to get one of those two, then I'm all for best player available, but get a guy later. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just swing for once and
all
get
the
it out of the park?
quarterbacks, draft them all. We have another guest backstage that we want to welcome to the show. You guys, you want to hang out?
I'll take my leave. I'll let the next person come on. So
All right.
thanks for having me on,
Thanks
Spicy.
for joining
Scotty,
us.
All right,
Omar,
man.
nice to see you. And Squid, nice to see you again. Hopefully it won't be
Bye-bye.
too long for you next time. All right, take care, gang.
All right. Bye. All right, we have our girl April in the building with some AOC baby with question marks. Ooh, what are the question marks about, girl? Talk to us.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's like all of a sudden, it's just a weird dynamic right now. I'm not used to this. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. I mean, we know what's going on with the Raiders, but like, it's like all these things that are like just happening, like from the start of the season, from the draft to the start of the season to like current. I don't even get mad anymore. I don't have high blood pressure anymore. I just kind of go with it. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll win a game. Probably not. Yesterday we looked okay, but we still had issues with the secondary. I'm sorry. Our secondary is terrible. It's just too much open field for the I don't know. Graham is next. I'm sorry. Just give the helm to Rob Ryan again. That's my dog. I love that guy. And I don't know. I want to see AOC back in there. He should have been the starter. I know all y'all don't think that, but he should have been the starter, not Minshew.
I think they should have rolled with them, especially because AP decided to play him over Jimmy G at the end of last season. So with that decision, I don't see any reason why you would have brought in Minshew to have him start. Of course, the reasoning is that they saw different things in practice that led them to believe that Minshew could give them the best chance to win. But obviously, we're sitting here at 2-9, and that's not all Minshew's fault. But
right. My question is like, okay, we have a couple weeks left. Okay, so what's going to happen? So yeah, I saw a comment. Oh, so what, we go 4-2, and then this, that, and the other. But I mean, I feel like that's what may happen. Like I think AOC is just a little bit salty. And then because I don't believe in tanking. I don't think we're tanking because if you listen to 90 Max Crosby, man, you know what? We are one of the luckiest teams to have that man on our squad. That dude is like it's crazy to listen to him. I'm like, dude, if we lose him, knock on wood, we're stupid. We're the dumbest team in sports.
Well, we are. I mean, we already probably are that. I mean, look at the decisions they've made up to here. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it certainly would piss me off. That one for me would sting more than maybe any decision ever.
Eats, breathes, shits the fucking Raiders. And I'm like, holy crap. Okay, we got to get it together at some point. At some point, something has to happen. And if I see one more time somebody posting, oh, we're going to get Daniel Jones, I'm going to pull my hair out of my head. This is what the Raiders do, though. This is what they do. This is typical Raiders. And it was just so funny because all of a sudden Minshew breaks his collarbone. I'm like, I'm sorry. I text Scotty and I was like, wait a second. He didn't even look like he fell on his collarbone. He fell on he was holding his stomach. What is going on? And maybe that was just me. Maybe it was a couple too many White Claws. I don't know. I didn't see him fall on his collarbone. But then now all of us, and then today I seen AOC will probably start. And I'm just like, ain't this some shit? Ain't this some shit? all I can say is just win, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't
In
like.
a weird plot twist here, AOC was the one that beat Kansas City on Christmas Day.
Oh my God! I
Oh
swear to
yeah.
God. It's wild. Look at Kansas City is a team to beat. They're called. I've renamed them the Kansas City referees. Okay, they're not the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. I'm tired of them. They're beatable. Period. They're beat. They should be. They shouldn't be 10-1. Okay, they really shouldn't. They should have lost way many more games than that. But we'll see what happens with the Raiders. I don't know. Our O line is terrible. I'm sorry. We cannot protect the quarterback at all. It's frustrating. Like yesterday, I thought we actually were going to win that game, and then the Raiders happened.
Oh, you're one of those, huh? Just kidding.
I was like, oh, so close, so close. I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I know we need, to get a quarterback in there and whatnot, but I'm just kind of tired of everybody talking about the draft. I'm like, bro, it's like November. That's like 6-7 months away. Why are we talking about it? Because I've read things. I read, believe it or not, and I read that Dion is like, they're talking about Dion being up for the Dallas Cowboy job. I mean, what is that going to do with Shador? I don't know. Everybody's saying the two are going to play together in the NFL, and I'm like, well,
I've heard the opposite though. He's talked about letting his son be himself.
Well, I would hope so.
And then, funny enough, I read literally right now that AOC's back today. So
yeah.
But I mean, as far as the draft goes, unfortunately, I really don't watch college. I've seen a couple games with Shador, and I'm like, okay. My only thing is like, he's flashy. I don't know about it. We all know about them flashy kids from college. We know what's happened the last couple times. So I don't know. Is it the right move for the Raiders? I'm not sure. I like that kid Cam Ward.
Everybody's talking about everybody talks about Cam Ward and Shador, but there's several quarterbacks in this draft that are viable. I mean, there's I think if we're in the top 10, we could still get one of the top quarterbacks that are listed. There's several ones out there that
And do you honestly think? I mean, realistically, we've been needing a quarterback since they let go of Carr. Do you really think that in the draft they're going to go for a quarterback? 2 years ago, they got the edge in the first quarter. I mean, in the first round, I was like, what?
And we'll see. Yes, to answer that question, because we were trying to get a quarterback this last draft. We wanted to get Jaden Daniels, but he was gone, so we went a different route. And I've said before, it depends on what's out there. We may not draft a quarterback. Well, it's possible that we don't, and I think the reason why we wouldn't would be because of coaching staff.
So, I think we would. I just think we may not do it in the first round if let's just say Cam Ward and Shador is gone and we got the 4th or 5th pick. I think the same thing with last year and last year's draft. It would happen again, except for this time we would take one in a later round, which we should have done probably last season, but didn't. So I mean, because it's so obvious.
Have you seen the kid Ritter that I thought maybe he had a chance, and I saw him playing? I'm like, damn, why we didn't take him?
Oh, that was terrible.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you can give somebody pocket awareness. Ritter has none. He has no pocket awareness.
I'm perplexed on why he was even signed, to be honest. Omar, you've made this point several times. If you're going to sign a practice quarterback, why not sign our own?
Right? Carter Bradley looked better in preseason. I mean, 1,000 times better than Ritter has looked. Yeah. I'm like, why not give the kid a chance? I don't understand it at all.
I definitely don't understand the whole Ritter thing. I'm like, okay, you sign somebody, you don't use him. We don't, like you said, we don't play Bradley. What are we doing? Now here we are again. Now we got to go back to AOC. And like Scotty said, like I talked to Scotty, he's like, yeah, he's going to look like the dumbass of but I don't know though. I love me some AOC. I'm just saying, I'm looking forward to it on Friday. I can't wait to see him back. Maybe he'll do something. I don't know, but the O-line has to protect him, and they're not doing that with the quarterback. They're just not. They're not. And
I
I
think
don't
they've gotten a
know.
little bit better though. Even I mean, the big JPJ taking over changed. To me, it's
I like
improving.
that kid.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little better. Again, it's not much, but there's a little bit of hope. Again, with the kid, what is it? Our right tackle, right guard, whatever it is.
Glaze,
What's his name?
DJ
Yeah.
Glaze.
DJ
I mean,
Glaze.
he's kind of flaws, but he's a
Oh,
rookie.
it's every time that guy.
Yeah.
Glaze is always called. And JPJ.
Yeah.
I love that kid. He's new. I can't blame JPJ. He's new. He's excited. You know, he got that paycheck. He
Glaze
got
is new too.
engaged.
He's a third. He was
He's
a
like,
third
let's
round pick.
go.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah,
a
Rookie too. They both rookies.
Did you see JPJ pick up Minshew like a toddler, like a daddy?
Right? I know. He made him look like a little boy, a little ass boy.
You're like, yeah, look at that little ass boy, right? He was like throwing him in. I thought he was gonna throw him and catch him like a toddler.
I think the right side of the line is coming along with Glaze. Definitely JPJ at center. I like him at center. And what's the guy that's on the right guard? We drafted him the draft before last, but he was
Meredith.
No, not Meredith. Parham.
Oh, Dylan Parham.
Yeah, I like Parham. I think he's gonna be all right, man. No, you're not with it. All right, I like Parham, man. I'm more concerned with our left tackle actually, because he started off the season injury and he's still getting pushed back. He was back a couple of times yesterday, and I'm just like, what's going on with him? He was a stud pretty much his whole career. I'm just wondering, is it that 9-10 season where his body is just breaking down and he can't recover like he used to?
I don't know the stats on. You're talking about Colton Miller. I don't know the stats on him for this last game, but the previous 6 games, I think it was 0 sacks and 7 pressures.
No,
he's come better.
But you got to think though. Before this injury, let's just say from last season, he was hella consistent. He didn't have that up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was solid. And I'm like I say now, just thinking that he's coming off of injury, I'm just wondering, he's getting a little long in the tooth. Isn't this 9th or 10th season? That's a lot for a big guy. You know what I mean? Sure. So that's all that just has me concerned that, maybe, if Glaze steps it up, maybe him and Glaze switches or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, our O-line has improved, a bit from the start of the season. Especially those first 3 games. There was no quarterback that could be back there, especially those first 3 games, that would have held up with that. So I think that's a good thing, and we've plugged in so many players on that offensive line this year already that I think we have what we're gonna have, and I think Glaze, Merritt, JPJ at center. Andre James lost his job. Sorry, Andre, you're gone. You're done. JPJ is taking your job. I like to see the I like the improvement that Colton Miller has had. You make a valid point. How long can he keep doing it? We'll see. That's a valid point though. But we got a little bit more protection for the quarterback than we initially started with. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, because
horrible at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Beat up, and it started with Colton Miller.
We definitely need a running back for sure. Like, come on.
We need a scheme.
Oh yeah, that's
I was gonna say that, Omar, because I'm like, you can have the best quarterback you or the best running back you want, and
unless he's got the best vision. I mean, literally right now, we would need someone that has. And unfortunately, Josh Jacobs is one of those guys who's got a vision, who could bounce it. Oh, that hole clogged up. He could quickly bounce it, and that's part of his success. We definitely need another guy like that. You know what I mean? Who can see that, okay, I'm supposed to be an A gap, but that shit just broke down. Let me bounce it. You know what I mean? And
well, we got the tight end thing situated. I mean, that's the best pick in the freaking Raiders draft. I mean, like, seriously, we can't lose that guy. Bowers is just sick. He is just crazy to watch. I'm like watching, like, holy crap. Yeah. Like, what? Imagine if he had
a quarterback.
No, quarterback.
I mean, if you go back and watch film, and you'll see how many times not just Bowers was open. If Minshew could release that ball faster, there were so many times those guys would come out of their breaks, and I'm like, that ball should have been there, and it just wasn't. You know what I mean?
We saw that early on. I mean, that's just how he throws, right? I mean, we saw that.
I'll tell you
And
what.
I think the playbook for Minshew was designated for Minshew because it's all these little passes, it's all these little 5-yard. That playbook needs to be burned and a new one needs to be made because even with Scott
come
Turner
on, you
in
don't
there,
like throwing behind the line of scrimmage even on 3rd down with 20 yards to go? Come on.
I told my daughter yesterday, I said,
hey, that's those old Tecmo Bowl plays.
He literally ran the ball. I'm like, oh my god. So I don't know. It's wild. They need to revamp that playbook because that playbook is trash.
Let me see what you guys think about this
playbook from 1960 when we entered the fucking. I swear to God, they need to get rid of it. It's done. They get up to the line. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that call is gonna be. This is stupid. It's just stupid.
Real quick though, before we go, we have about 9 minutes left. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. And April Squid, you're welcome to stay to chat, chime in on this. Maybe we could find what the reason is behind this because Mark Davis has agreed to sell. Principal to sell 15% of the franchise, according to a league source. Well, I know he just sold part of it to Tom Brady. Now he's looking to sell another 15%. The Silver Lake co-CEO and Endeavor Board Chairman Egon Durbin and Discoveryland Company founder and chairman Michael Meldman have each bid separately to acquire 7.5% stakes in the Raiders. Shocking, I think. I don't think we thought Mark Davis would ever really sell, but now he's selling quite rapidly. Is this a fire sale? No, I'm kidding. But what do you think? What do we think the reason is behind this? Like, what's the logic behind this? Does anyone have any thoughts? Squid, I'll ask you. Have you heard of this or thought about what you think about this?
I've heard of it. I can only imagine it being a finance thing that I'm just going to be blunt. I'm not educated enough to know how that you're talking about money that I'm never going to see. So I'm sure at their level, it makes sense to sell to get a percentage back and somehow, I don't hope, invest in the team, not in the team, in the structure and the foundation, i.e. maybe building around around the stadium and like infrastructure and stuff like that is what I would think. But I don't know how the hell their shareholders work. And I mean, he's still going to have overall control. But
right.
I
don't think he'll ever give up control.
No.
So the vote for the NFL owners and special league meeting from December 10th and 11th will determine if this can happen. So that's pretty soon. Actually, we can find out what happens here. Yeah, what do you think? Anyone got a few $billion you want to chip in?
Is he losing money with the Aces? I mean, they won. I would think he's making money with the Aces.
Did you not see the stadium? Have you not seen the stadium in the last? He's losing money. Period. It was nothing but orange in there, and I had to look back and be like, wait a minute.
It's sold out though. I mean, people are sold out.
Yeah, season tickets are sold out. They're just not reselling.
Mark Davis did not think this through when he left Oakland. I'm bitter about that. I will forever be bitter about that. You'll never catch me with no damn Las Vegas, nothing. And he didn't think about Vagabond City, baby. He didn't think about none of it. All he thought about was money, and he ain't getting shit. Look at it.
Oh no, I disagree with that. That guy is making money off that. I mean, his net worth has went up by billions moving that team to Vegas.
Yep.
I mean, with the Super Bowl being there, Pro Bowl being there. I mean, that's why I'm scratching my head on why he's doing it, unless Aces has become some type of money pit or something like that. But they won, so I'm thinking he should be making some money there too. Maybe
he got a 24-year-old girlfriend, so I mean,
that's a WNBA thing though, that the whole league loses. Like, this is one of their most viewed seasons in history, and they still lost money.
Yeah, the WNBA.
Maybe he's tricking it out. He is in Vegas. Maybe he's been tricking too hard.
Or maybe he just wants to cash out and make some money. Yeah. Like you said, he moved there. Yeah. The amount of the team, the team is valued more than it was before. Maybe he want to take some billions of dollars and enjoy it.
But he doesn't have kids,
I know.
Mark Davis doesn't have
I wish
kids.
He would just sell the damn team.
No, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's his kid.
Yeah.
And wait, and because I don't know, does he have any brothers and sisters?
No, I think it's just him and his mom that were like.
This could be a succession plan. He could be like, I've done what I've done. Now I'm going to be here until I'm ready to walk away. But I got a whole bunch of cash, and we'll see. Maybe he plans to do something with it.
Collectively,
I don't know.
There's so many Raider Nation. We all collectively could put in about $5. We all could buy a fucking share. All Raider Nation share.
Okay, let me check my Bitcoin. Let me check my Bitcoin, see if they'll take some crypto.
Hey, I got plenty of it. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
I don't see them selling it until because if and when Carroll passes away, I could see it being a shift then of who would actually take over.
Dude, Squid, that could be it. Maybe
That's
because
kinda what I'm
Mama
wondering,
owns
yeah.
it.
Like,
Maybe that's his way of getting some
Yep.
cash by selling
Yep.
some shares because he can't sell the whole thing because Mama not gonna let him.
Yeah,
That
so
could be it.
he's to be maybe long-term planning for. There's billionaires out there that would see it and go, okay, that obviously we're gonna make money. We may not like who's going, but people are going
And
to
by the way,
Vegas.
Carol Davis is 93, 94 years old.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well,
We'll see.
I don't know.
All right, April, Scotty, I'm gonna let you guys go because we only have like 4 minutes here. So I want to thank, or not Scotty, Squid.
Me.
Thank you guys for joining the madness. We appreciate you. Bye, girl. All right, we just have a few minutes here. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to give your final thoughts on really any of our hot takes. If you had any last thoughts here.
I mean, I love the fact what Max is doing. I mean, now team scheme for 98 and 89 now. Those are the two numbers. We got beast on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Them two are keeping this entertaining. Hey, seeing a trick play that worked. I'm sorry, that was a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to lie yesterday because we haven't done shit that kind of worked that. And I haven't been caught off guard with the play. I don't know. This whole season easily.
Yeah, they've been pretty predictable. That's for sure. I didn't see that one coming either.
Right. So that, in my mind, just keep it going. Play hard. We're going to try to squeeze any bit of pleasure out of watching as we can because we're fans and that's all we got. So, hey, let's do it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that we beat Kansas City 23-20 this week.
Ooh, okay.
Man.
All right. I don't see that happening, but listen, at this point, I think a win is always enjoyable and a loss at this point can't hurt our draft ranking. Right. So, we can't be mad anymore. It's either one or the other, right?
Yeah.
We'll be benefited in some way, I suppose. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us on Monday Night Madness. We appreciate you. Catch us here every Monday at 6 p.m. for the rest of the season. Mother Moon, she's looking forward to the gumbo. Omar's going to pick it up.
Oh, it's
speaking of, it's the Chiefs game. And it's the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
What's the game?
Yeah. I don't know. That's going to be,
You had Tyreek one year. You had...
I don't know.
Talking about the name of the gator. The name of the gator, Omar's going to smoke.
I think we should just name the turducken. Because I'm gonna smoke some. I was gonna surprise you, but now surprising everyone. But now I've let the cat out the bag. We're also doing turducken. So hey, our guy always talked about turducken on Monday Night Football. So I was like, you know what, dude, you got to do a turducken. You got to do turducken too.
Maybe we'll do a special segment of Omar's alligator. He's gonna name after one of these Chiefs players and his John Madden Turduncan. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining Monday Night Madness. And Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way. Raiders!
Fact is, I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in L.A. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats.
Clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over. Run through a motherfucker face.
I think this journey is the most special because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity playing in high school and college and then pro and then being injured and starting coaching as a young coach.
We understand what it's about. We understand Raider Nation. We understand Raider love. Since 1966, you guys have been coming to this stadium and you've been rooting this team on to victory. You've seen this team win 3 Super Bowls. You've been here through the ups. You've been here through the downs. But you never waver.
The mental side of the game is taking me to the next level, and it's true confidence. It's feeding your brain elite of elite. And as I always talk about 1% and more is required, and I always say these things, but it's what I live. I see it everywhere I go because you have to constantly train your mind for greatness.
All right, Raider Nation, thank you for joining the madness. We'll see you next week.